Welcome to Smart Remarks. War, what is it good for? Cutting entitlements, of course. So John Boehner, Republican of Ohio and House Minority Leader, was in Pennsylvania last week giving an interview to the Pittsburgh Tribune-Review where he said a couple things that were pretty outrageous. First of all, he talked about the proposed financial reform bill in Congress and said it was like using a nuclear weapon on an ant. The ant, in this case, being the near global financial collapse of 2008. Boehner doesn't seem to think that's that big of a deal, but, he's a Republican, so you can understand why. If you're a Republican, only a true apocalypse, blood running in the street, is cause for new regulation, and maybe not even then. So that Boehner would think the most significant and catastrophic financial event of our lifetimes is just no biggie. It's ridiculous, but it's hardly surprising. More shocking was when he started talking about the need to cut entitlements and the war in Afghanistan in the same sentence. According to the newspaper, quote, ensuring there's enough money to pay for the war will require reforming the country's entitlement system, Boehner said. Say what? Boehner's aides later tried to claim that he never actually said this, but this is totally in keeping with the Republican philosophy, isn't it? For months, all we've heard from conservatives is about how government is spending too much money. Entitlements are out of control. We got to stop spending. But never do they talk about how much money we're spending on our various wars, let alone say that we should be spending less. In fact, a lot of conservatives seem to think we ought to be spending more. They favor sending more troops so that we can get the job done, whatever that job might be. And they favor staying as long as it takes to win victory, whatever victory is and however long that might take. What's all this going to cost? Why do you hate freedom? Why do you hate the troops? Meanwhile, here's Boehner saying that we absolutely have to raise the retirement age to 70 and we ought to means test Social Security. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but he's being intellectually dishonest here. If we can't afford entitlements, we certainly can't afford open-ended wars. How about we spend American money right here in America? But for Boehner and other conservatives, war is both the obligation and the purpose of the state. Their worldview says that you can never spend too much money on guns, but gee, we really don't have anything to spend on butter. And that makes that movement pretty slippery indeed.
Fight a war and finance it the way we have without it having an impact on the economy.
These two wars qualify at least as a contributing cause of the economic calamity that we are trying to deal with at present.